guys, welcome to video number 2 for our nonfiction story all about Bichons, where we learned about the type of dog that Bella and Rosie are. So here's my dog. He's not a Bichon, remember, he's a Japanese Chen, so he's a little different. And before I read the story, let's review the things that we learned in video number 1 by reading our book, what we learned about Bichon Frises. First of all, can you say Bichon Frise? Bichon Frise. And we learned that they are small, white, happy, friendly. Do you remember what this mark right here meant? That's called a comma, and it means to pause for just a second. Went on boat trips with sailors. Do you remember why? To keep their spirits up, to help them feel happy on these long, boring boat trips. They have long, curly tails, black noses, round eyes. They are playful. They like walks. They shed a little, and remember, just a little, not a whole lot. That makes them good pets for people with allergies. You have to brush them every day. Do you remember why you have to brush them every day? What can happen to their fur if you don't brush them every day? It can get tangled, or the word the author used was matted. We'll look at that word when we get there. Let's learn all about Bichons. And remember, after video number 3, you can take an AR test on the story. Here is a Bichon Frise. A Bichon is a, look here it is, small white dog. It does look extra happy, doesn't it? It's a cute little dog. A long time ago, Bichons went with sailors on boat trips. The dogs made the sailors feel happy on long trips. Yeah. Bichons do not get very big. And do you remember why we didn't write do not get very big on our board? What word had we already written that means the same thing as do not get very big? Yeah, they're small. That's right. So Bichons do not get very big. They have long curly tails. They have black noses and round black eyes. Bichons are friendly and happy dogs. They are good dogs for families. They like to play and go for walks. And remember, instead of writing the words like to play, I wrote the word playful. They're playful. They like to play. Some people think that Bichons do not shed, but they do shed some of their hair. Some people with allergies can have a Bichon. I messed that page up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back and read it again, right? Because I said all kinds of crazy things. I'm going to read it again, and this time I'm going to be more careful. Some people think that Bichons do not shed, but they do shed some of their hair. Some people with allergies can have a Bichon. I did better that time, didn't I? So when you read something, even if you read all the words right, but it just doesn't sound good, go back and read it again. Make it sound better. Make it sound like it should. That's important. It is good to brush a Bichon's fur every day. If you do not brush a Bichon's fur, it will get, and look, here it is, matted. And remember, we talked about how that means if you don't brush it, it'll mat up, it'll get tangled, like you get tangles in your hair if you have longer hair. If you get a Bichon puppy, you will need to take good care of it. You will need to give your puppy good food to eat. You will also need to take your puppy for walks and teach your puppy to go to the bathroom outside. If you take care of your puppy, you will have a new best friend. I want to look at a word really quickly, and that's this little four-letter word right here. All. So. All. So. Do you see those parts? Do you see how those letters make the word also? Yeah, that's a cool word, isn't it? We've worked on words like that before. And remember, we're looking for those chunks that we know, right? Like in the word teach. Look, we know there's the beginning. And then we know that EA a lot of times will make the E sound like in the word eat that we know. T, E, ch. CH says ch. Teach. See how that works? We're going to work on that with some more words right now. So let me take my board, turn my board over. Hold on, I got letters everywhere. So now we're going to look at some words. And what we're going to work on today is putting words in boxes. Now this helps us when we read, this helps us when we write. Mostly we use this when we write. So, but it is helpful to hear the sounds and to slow down and listen for those sounds. So I'm going to start, and we've done these boxes before. That's a terribly drawn box, but it'll have to do. We're going to start with 3 boxes, 3 sounds, right? If I'm doing an easy word, that we know, right? Each sound gets a box. D, og. Put it together. Dog. Yeah, right? Each sound gets a box. And I keep saying that because sometimes, here's another practice one. Sometimes, now I have 4 letters, don't I? But the word is sh, d, right? It's not s, is it? Nope, that sh goes together to make one sound. So it gets a box. Sh, one sound. Sh, ed, sh, ed, shed. All right, do you see how this works? All right, so we're going to start with words, and these are words from our story. Let's see, I don't have too many here that have 3. Oh, here we go. All right, let's look at this one. This one came from our story. Ready? Remember, EE goes together like in the word see. Eel. So let's look at it. F, eel, feel. Do you see how those letters go together to make the word feel? Remember, the Bichons made the sailors feel happy. All right, so let's move this one away. Might be time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be time to add another. Oh, nope. This is a good one. Look at this. This word has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, but it only gets 1, 2, 3 boxes because even though it's got all these letters, it only makes 3 sounds. This isn't wah, is it? It's wah. So, wah, I. Does the E make a sound? No, it does not. So it does not get a sound box because it doesn't make a sound. Wah, I. Look at that. That was pretty cool. Do you hear it? Wah, I. And that E is silent, so it's left over there by itself. All right, so I'm ready to go to 4 boxes. And I'm going to try to draw it a little bit better. So I'm going to turn it towards me for just a second. Just a second here. I'm going to try to draw better boxes. You guys know I can't draw worth anything. All right, we're going to go with 4 boxes. I hope that'll be big enough. Whoa, I'm already going to tell you that's not big enough. I'm going to make my boxes much bigger. Okay, so now let's look at some other words from our story that are going to fit in our 4 boxes. All right, let's start with this one. Let me make it down here. Now, this is a pretty easy one because you can hear all the sounds in this word. So listen. L, ong, l, ong. Now, I want you to stretch this one out with me because if you just said long and tried to write the letters in, this is a hard sound to hear. So you've really got to stretch it out so that you hear this in right here. So let's listen again. Ong. Did you hear how much I had to stretch that out to hear the N? All right, let's try another one. All right. So let's look at this. M. Oh, look, before I move this part, that's a little word that we know. That little word is the word all. Sm. All. Oh, okay. Sm. All. And did you notice I put the L's in that box together? Because they make one sound. We don't say small, do we? We say small. We make one L sound when we say it. Small. Now look, these two, the S and the M, do not go in the same box, do they? Because when we say sm, sm, when we say the blend, we hear the s and we hear the sm, right? So they're 2 different sounds. Sm, all. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Here's the first part. Brr, b, er. So we hear both sounds, so they each get a box. B, er, sh. What am I going to do with the sh? It's not 2 sounds like b, burr. It's 1 sound. Sh. So it gets a box by itself. Sh, burr, sh, brush. Do you see how those letters make the word brush? All right, let's do another one. Okay. Oh, here's a word that I think you guys probably already know. Whoops, I'm making a mess. Here we go. A, p, e. So what do I do with these 2 P's? Do I put them like this? Nope, because then I have nowhere for the Y. Hap, E, and the Y is not silent, so it has to get a box. Do you remember the 2 L's at the end of small? We say 1 L sound. We don't say small, we say small. Well, we don't say hap, E, we say hap, E. So the P's are going to go together. Hap, E. There's our tricky Y. It sounds like an E, but it's a Y. Hap, E. Hap, E. All right. Let's do just a few more. Here's another easy one. All right, let's take a look, okay? B, blah. Now, even though these two letters, like we take it, if we were going to take it apart like we do at school, bl, ack, right? But we still hear the b and the ul, bl, don't we? Bl, ah. What am I going to do with my C and my K? They're both going to go in this box because they make one sound. Black, right? Black. Remember, Bichons had black noses and round black eyes. All right, two more and we're done. Okay, now you might want to jump in and say, oh, very. I see the part that says very. And you're close. Yeah, I see it too, if that E wasn't there. We put the E in there, it's then E, every. So we have v. Here's our ER together that says and then sounds like an E, but it's a tricky Y. E. Do you see how those letters and those sounds make the word every? Every. Yeah, that's a tricky one. You're going to start seeing the word every in more and more things that you read. Now, here's a tricky one, another tricky one. But we're going to look and see if there's a part we can find that we know. Just like we found the ER in every. Do you see a chunk in this word that you know? I'm going to put the beginning up. Oh, do you remember what UR says? We worked on it last week. In words like turn, it makes the sound just like an ER. So curl. Oh, look at that. I have the word curl. Now I'm going to stick a Y, a tricky Y that sounds like an E on the end. Let's see what we get. E, curly, curly. Remember, Bichons have curly, long, curly tails. All right, kiddos. So there's our word work for the week. That's the end of video number 2 for our nonfiction book, All About Bichons. Join me in video number 3 when I read it again. And we're going to make a list for our writing of how to take care of a puppy. So make sure you got a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy, and you can write along with me. See you in video 3.